were just able to take Malfurion instead of Arthas in their last game. That could have been much better, but what's done is done. And our last map of the day will be Towers of Doom.
Yep, it's the map that they won last time they faced each other in game number 2. Ended up losing the 5th map, Sky Temple, as I was saying, for those who came in late. Wanted to know the history of when they faced each other in the first round robin. So we're going to this one now to decide the entire thing. We had an epic game on Towers of Doom between Tempest and MVP Miracle. Now we're going to see something similar, I hope, as we go into this 5th and final map. The draft is ready. And let's see if Zeratul makes it through, because he is definitely a key player in terms of this map. Harassment, altar control, movement, especially on the triple altar phase. The other hero of big note, because of his ability to delay, is Nazebo. So these are the two heroes I expect outside of the norm, like the Tassadar, the Vala. These are the heroes I expect to see very highly prioritized in the draft here.
That's right, and also Dehaka will be very likely to be picked from Mighty's side instead.
Could be GT going to the Falstad as well. Global's important here.
Very important, and maybe we'll see Zagaras, 2 Zagaras in a row. You never know.
It's possible.
As Uze did play lots of Zagara back in 2016.
That's
and
right.
15.
He was considered by many to be the best Zagara in the world, because he and Sniper were both playing it a lot, but Uze was considered to be better, and later on that title was taken from him as he kind of was absent from pro play after that season. Vala is finally banned here. Will Mighty grab the Falstad? No, they want the Zeratul. We were talking about this from the start. This means GG could take either the Falstad or the Dehaka and look for the split pressure.
Or both. I think both is actually a pretty good answer for their global in terms of macro and micro here.
Tough to go both, though, I feel, this early. I mean, it is doable, potentially, but it's funny, we don't actually normally see that. We've seen it a few times this tournament, and we have seen a very few situations, but it does occasionally happen where we have one on each side, one Falstad and one Dehaka. That's kind of a funny matchup for the game of chicken. They take the Falstad, though. Now let's see if Mighty wants to take Nazebo here, or if they're going to take the Dehaka to duel in terms of split pushing and rotation in the global, I should say.
Now this is a little different story, even if Malfurion is going to be on Jaehyun. Or Jaehyun will be on Malfurion. Because Zeratul will be harassing from the side. And it's a darker map, of course. Of course, that stealth mode. Cloak will be a little bit more dangerous onto the back line. And Mighty, both teams have been using Void Prison more of a defensive tool as compared to an offensive tool. Maybe they can even go into Diablo pick and make it into an offensive wombo combo.
There's Nazebo. And Muradin. So no crazy Diablo combo. That's usually reserved for GG specifically. But the possibility was there, and I guess technically still is. This is a really strong objective-based composition from Mighty. They are going to delay the altars. They're going to try to sneak altars with Zeratul, for example. Void Prison can guarantee you an altar in the choke points when you invade the altars, but GG wants to control the bell towers more than the altars themselves. They're going to have control over the map. They're going to have the pressure. They're going to try to escort some of the sapper camps. So that's the difference in draft in terms of the objective right now. Abathur. I don't think this is a strong ban at all.
Maybe it's... they're just considering for the map choice.
I mean, it weakens... it doesn't even weaken, it removes the Abathur Zeratul. That's super rare on this map. It's an old, outdated strat. Surprised by this ban, to be honest.
I think they're just scared of Zeratul could snipe into Falstad doing solo lane, catch off guard, so they're just being cautious about having Falstad into solo laning, and also Malfurion in the back line.
It does make Falstad solo laning a lot stronger. With the ETC removed, you have to assume here this is going to be an Arthas pick now coming out for GG. They They don't have the Zeratul to pair with Diablo, but we have seen them play Diablo without it before. We talked about it from game 1, the X factor of GG. An interesting headset setup here. I've done that before. I know that feel. Tychus and Tyrael, they're actually going down this path of invulnerability and hard engage. Tyrael has a decent interrupt for the altar channels, so that's actually really nice.
And ETC is banned out at the moment, so there'll be no ETC to follow up with Sank or for that speed boost with the Rockstar. Now the question is, too mighty. What else do they need here?
I think they want,
of course, the support.
Li Ming potentially.
They do have some poke, but until the late game, Nazeebo won't be too powerful for the poke to actually have the picks on Zeratul. I think Li Ming fits in pretty nicely.
Yeah, I think Li Ming's got good burst.
And Zeratul can get the rest of the damage, so Li Ming can get the power burst.
It's going to be that or the hammer, and we're looking towards the Karazim. So this Sergeant Hammer that makes it through. They want to have 2 types of damage, both ranged. So again, this is controlling the bell towers versus controlling the altars themselves. In terms of rotations, GG has an insanely strong solo laner in Tyrael for the early game too. Whereas Zeratul is not going to be as powerful. So the early game is going to be good for GG. They're going to have all lanes controlled for the majority of the game. That's their game plan. Team fighting not going to be as easy, but they have Tyrael for that. They have that interrupt. Grenade is a decent interrupt. Moonfire is a decent interrupt. So it's not that GG doesn't have any interrupts. It's just Mighty has the insane one of the Nazeebo spiders and Zeratul's harass. And there's the Diablo. We said it, And with Sanctification, it could even be Lightning Breath. Just protect him as he sits there and burns everybody down. Seems unlikely. But, I mean, Diablo himself was an unlikely pick, and we brought it out. It's not going to be the Arthas. So, our 10th game of the night, our second best of 5, goes to Game 5. It's Towers of Doom. Our first series gave us an epic game on this map. We're going to wait and see if our second best of 5 will deliver just the same. Winner of this match takes top 4. The loser will be knocked down to top 5 after this evening. Let's go into our 5th and final game on Towers of Doom. In blue, BDG on Tychus, Jaehyun on Malfurion, good on Tyrael, Hooligan on Diablo, and Wujie on Falstad.
In red, it's Mighty, Joker on Muradin, Sands on Zeratul, Magi on Sergeant Hammer, Nasang on Karazim, and SDE on Nazeebo.
SDE's Nazeebo was incredible earlier.
That's right.
Getting his Widowmakers at like 640. See how quickly he gets it on this map. A little bit tougher than on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Hooligan, super aggro here. Jaehyun has the trust. And the root comes down. It's an instant kill. 17 seconds into the game. Smoggy split pushes.
That's exactly why they picked Diablo. They made it worth from the beginning. Not even with Zeratul, they don't even need it. We see
go on to Karazim too.
I'm pretty sure it was about the same combo coming in from Jaehyun and Diablo.
Hooligan's got like a 3 kill per minute ratio. This continues.
I think that can also, not as fast, but Muradin should also be careful because there is a minigun and also Falstad is building into Seasoned Marksman. So later on to the game, even Joker can be wiped down with just one combo like that.
Yeah, it helps deal with Nazeebo's tankiness as well. Giant Killer, for example, for Falstad will work against Health Pool.
And also Karazim not having the cleanse until basically 16 will be the biggest problem for Mighty.
Look at Giant Killer, it's a ability that does percentage-based damage based on health, not based on whether or not Blizzard calls you a warrior or not. So the tanky health pool of Nazeebo, and actually even the Karazim, fairly tanky support, will work for that. So we'll see if he commits to that talent later on. A very high chance he does. So we're going to look for the pick here on the Soul Lane onto Good.
Miss on Spike, but it's not the worst thing yet.
GG with the double kill, significantly ahead though. Here comes our first altar phase. Let's see if the...
See, even Joker has to be careful.
Yep.
Barely Dork tosses away.
He has third wind at least, so that's going to be helpful for them. With that commitment, Magi almost gets a channel, but a big interrupt here, actually, by Malfurion. So we're even 1-1.
If Fuja had that Q not on cooldown to clear the wave clear, I think they could have got a kill there.
Oh, this is actually really bad for Mighty. They cannot be getting picked or pushed it back like this on these important moments in time. See how much they commit to this gank on the Soul Lane again. Looks like it's just going to be SDE going up there with Zeratul for the kill onto Good. And Sands is up there. It's the spike this time, but still just not enough damage.
Yeah, also Zeratul is pretty weak in his beginning state. And also Nazeebo is very weak in the beginning of the game, so those two will not likely to catch Tyrael. The really scary part is these three. They will get the kill for sure if you get into the hands of Diablo, then you're gone. You're gone basically.
Sapper camp here taken for Mighty. It's a small prize for them, but RDGG rotating up, and they have the stronger Sapper camp, which will finish off this wall.
And that's also pressuring Mighty to actually rotate down or make a strong rotation down actually to get a kill for themselves instead. And
well, they're looking for it on BDG, and they will get it. If they get on Hooligan, nice zoning route. This is the power of globals, right? I mean, this is why the globals are so strong, as you control the lanes, as I was saying, and force Mighty to have these rotations. They have a successful one finally. Get the pick onto BDG. But it's still a tough game for them in terms of bell tower control. The Ultra Phase didn't go their way either.
It was a very lucky critical timing for Mighty. They were losing it because they were really having a hard time going down to the bottom lane because that Diablo Malfurion rotation was so powerful. But now with that, they released some pressure on the bottom lane. And as this altars spawn in 10 seconds.
Okay, really nice setup for both. The final Sapper is cleared in the bot by Magi. And we're going to set up for this big engage here. Looks like they may just gentleman's agreement, go 1-for-1. This is a win for GG. And that's just how it's going to be. This is also decent for Mighty because they can clear the waves now. They don't have any problems. Not like they were getting split pushed at the same time. And this is just more soaking for SDE. But SDE nearly gets picked here. Actually may get picked regardless. Good with the finishing blow. Hooligan's trapped.
Hooligan almost saved him instead. He was about to get rooted.
So part of the reason why it takes longer to get Widowmakers on this map than it does on Spider Queen is because you're not rotating and delaying non-stop like we saw SDE do onto a Spider Queen. But part of the other reason why it's going to take him longer, we're still not at 640 yet, so he could still get it fairly soon after. But the amount of deaths he has already, I think it's 2, might be 3. I'm pretty sure it's 2. Means that he's not in lane, which means he's not actually throwing spiders at his opponents. Not even building his tankiness stack, so his Voodoo Ritual, but he's not harassing with them, which is an issue, because it's going to give his Widowmakers a huge power spike much later.
The root is gone for now, so that's the timing that Mighty actually wants to go hard on it. But even Cleanse going into BDG, Jaehyun staying on top of things to keep his teammates alive.
Hooligan comes in again, nearly getting the pick on the Nasong. This Diablo pick, it's the X factor, you know, it's the unusual draft that we see from GG. It's just Hooligan's Diablo is so scary. The same as you really have to respect Good's Zeratul. These two heroes that, even if the draft is designed for it, the map isn't good for it, can get them so many picks because they're so well practiced on the hero. It's like a comfort pick on the Diablo. And it is working well here for GG, who nearly hits 10 now. We're going to look for the Sapper camp as our bot altar spawns. Zebo just soaking at the top as much as he can. Not getting too much harass done.
I like Uja's play whenever he does not see Zeratul on the map, he seems to be backing off. And he's only clearing the wave, soaking in EXP. He does not overextend to really go in all the way to take down the towers, as he will find himself in the danger zone if he does so. Even Joker has to be careful. Mighty just hit 10.
Hey, ooh, Jaehyun under fire. Sands with a nice little maneuver there to get around after the harass. This ultra is not life or death for either team, but this is going to be a big fight. This is going to be the more expected Apocalypse, although I would have loved to see some crazy lightning breath. Just not really meta. Coming out from Hooligan here. If everyone is stacked up, he can get a big, nice line. He can get multiple stuns. You don't have the Void to stack this up. Okay, channel here for Nasong. Not going to be able to stick with it, though. I feel like SDE needs to get a position. He's not really dropping out that many spires. Finally does a drop here on the Hooligan.
Sands is sneaking by on the bottom.
Looks for a Void. Going for the harass on the Jaehyun first. Doesn't find what he was looking for. Everyone is super low. Mighty is going to get zoned out here. GG looks to channel once more. Widowmaker's done at 7:30 now. 7-sided strike completely whiffs. And it's going to be a double kill here for GG as they get this altar. This game is spiraling out of Mighty's hands very, very quickly.
That APOC was not really connected with any CC, but the timing there, how they were spread out, it was near perfection. He got the most zone possible with the APOC there, and really great usage of APOC by Hooligan there.
Nasong with a double dash gets the kill onto Good. So at least have that consolation prize to go home with. But it's never going to save his core health. He'll have lost forever. As we were talking about the scaling of Nazeebo in the late game, really Falstad has been doing more consistent soaking. He's going to have his big power spike once he gets Seaman Marksman completed. And he already has quite a few stacks. He's building up the damage. Sands is looking for him. Ujay knows that he's missing. Even the danger ping coming down from his teammates. Mighty's going to let this Sapper camp go. They sit and watch as it goes down. And this next altar phase is going to be, it's starting to get really significant. This is going to knock Mighty down to half health, which is starting to put a timer on how they can be killed. The team fight, if they continue like this, they're going to slowly lose the game anyways. They need a big wipe. If they get wiped, they could lose bell towers, which could then rapidly speed this game up. GG is going to have the 13 talent tier advantage. I worry for Mighty. There's the altar phase. 13 actually not quite reached yet for GG. The Sapper camp is cleared up. Nicely done by Mighty.
Not for both sides as Ujay just chunking some damage, and here comes Sand. Does miss the Singularity Spike.
Zombies are angry. Sands.
Almost catch Sands, but
yeah.
Lynx.
Tough to catch a Zero Tool with that one. It can be done with a root. They're going to hard engage this Mighty right before 13. 13 is hit now for GG. Most not locking in because they're in this fight. Sanctification does go up, and it's giant killer for Ujay, that big power spike we were talking about. He's going to commit to it. Looks like Mighty might try to go for the channel here. Zombie wall, unfortunately, does miss.
For the time when Odin is up, it's really hard. They have the poke, they have the damage. Mighty backs off for just now.
Channeling going on here. SDE drops out the spires. He misses them this time.
But in terms of pokes, Mighty wins pretty hard on that damage. There's a 7-sided strike onto multiple targets.
Hooligan
really can't get a kill there.
Hooligan's super low. Down he goes. BDG is also taking quite a bit of damage in this harass. Hooligan does have souls, so immediately resurrects. They might actually try to delay this channel. I don't think it's possible, though.
The only way is just popping APOC, man.
Oh!
And Fair, no, does not even.
He commits to it. Will pay for it for his life. Nasong with the save there on Magi. Falstad flight. He wants it. Is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? The answer is no. Has to gust. Oh, so close. Crazy exchanges here at this game that's kind of reached its midpoint. So Mighty gets that channel. And they're now only 4 behind. They're ahead in EXP. This game could really, I mean, this game is anyone's game to take now.
Pretty sure Hooligan was thinking about APOC at that moment. But as a Falstad players, I've had those moments when APOC was used, and that's exactly the time when I hit that R button at the same time. So it actually works in favor of the other team. So it really has to be careful when you're with Falstad.
Yeah, you have to have good communication. A lot easier when you're on comms, not when you're in Hero League when your team's just yelling at you and trying to give good advice and you're not on Skype together. Another 7-sided strike goes down. Hooligan eats a ton of damage. It's killed by the napalm, and Mighty is starting to team fight better here. Remember, the scaling for SD's health is starting to show here. He got Widowmakers at around 730, so he's had that for a while too. Can they get the save here? Dasong with another clutch heal. Sanctification feels wasted as Sands will definitely go to secure the kill. Wants to wait for that shield to wear off. Ooh, he actually doesn't commit. Takes a lot of patience and what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline. It's been a long night. Nearly casting for 6 hours with you here, Jacob. But it takes a lot of discipline to know not to go in there.
That's right. As a Zeratul especially. If you end up using the blink, maybe you can't get out after you get rooted and you're done. So just having patience there.
Yeah, and he knew that Tyrael had the shield. He wanted to wait for it to expire before going in, but he was like, oh, well, if I go now, it's too late. 7-side here, again, connects with good. The 7-side started off a bit weak in this map, but have gotten better and better as it's gone on. Hooligan's taking a lot of damage there as Giant Killer's now also ready for Sergeant Hammer. So it's going to be a trade on the top altars, but Mighty will get 2 of 3, and they will finally take a lead in this game in terms of core health. All right, actually, I'm sorry. It's going to be dead even at 20.
They will tie things up by taking 2 out of 3. But once Mighty hits 16, that's when Zeratul gets a lot of the power spike coming in. Zeratul will be able to snipe Falstad on his own. So this time actually we see Cleansing Touch on Kerosene. We need that CC cleanse. But can't cleanse himself.
So we saw the invade there. They actually committed to the Dwarf Toss in, but not enough. Let's see this 1v1 here. Sands just harassing good. We're going to see the Sapper camp now taken for Mighty. So camp for a cap. Cleaning this up. Good wave clear for GG. Actually going to give this camp a little bit of leeway, but with Mighty having their own cap, and them having Nazebo and Sergeant Hammer, they're going to clean this just the same. Sands just really wants to have good at low health when they have the next fight for the next altar phase, but I feel like it's doing more harm than good, the amount of harass he's committing to here. This is a super neutral game right now. The only thing to worry about for GG is this cap, as all the soaking is basically identical. Look at this middle lane is the solo lane between Wujay and Sands now. Mighty has a strong pushing comp, and they want to get the spell tower, but I just don't think it's realistic right now as we see the double altars mid and bot. Oh, huge gust in though. Wujay wants to commit. He's going to cost him his life though. The 7-sided gets a lot of extra damage done as well. Sanctification used here defensively. This is a great position now for Mighty to take the lead.
Wujay flew in at the right time, but chose onto wrong targets. Only got 2, and one of the 2 that actually got rooted was Muradin. So the worst target actually to go for GG, and really didn't get a kill and cost him his life of his own.
So here's the channels, double for Mighty. Now 3 channels away, or 2 channels and a pause on the altars to winning this game and this series to repeat their 3-2 victory they had on our first split. Many weeks ago, as it turns out, the skill for both these teams has risen since then, but it seems on a nearly equal scope, as once again Mighty attempts the invade, they're just seconds too late, or milliseconds too late, to deny the cap.
And Sands, all he's looking for is a Falstad rotation up on top, and now he's going for it. I don't think. Let's see if Sands is patient enough to wait for that much of a long time.
Looks like he's going to go mid instead. This is going to put Sands to check the camp, and now he's, I think, considering going for it. With all this pressure on the bot lane, he's considering rotating down. He stays, but it's not going to be secret this time for the Falstad rotation up. Obviously, Wujay has already seen this. Takes the long way around. And it's still a 4v4 exchange here in the bot lane. EXP is almost dead even. Mighty has a slight scaling advantage for just realistically a few seconds here.
But even with Falstad now, they have the power to catch that EXP up. It's only a little bit of a gap, so like if Falstad even joining the
he did a flight for it, so he's not gonna have a flight for the fight. Hooligan comes in. Oh, nice dodge here by Moggy to get out of that route. The route a little bit late this time for Jaehyun. Jaehyun has had trust in every Hooligan dash in, has had the route placed for it. This is the solo altar in the bot lane. or in the bot spawn, I should say. And already, here comes Zeratul down. Joker's looking for the clear. GG's going to have 18 in a second. We're on same talent tiers. It's really just the 4% scaling that's the big deal here. It's not that big of a deal. But again, this is more important for GG to take than Mighty, because they are on their last life. If they lose this and the boss, then Mighty could just go even on a double altar to win the game.
There's an instant cleanse. Very nice job by Nasang there. And Root is on cooldown for some time. Sands is revealed from Tyrio.
And here's Odin. This is going to be the tough moment. They have to delay through Odin.
Odin popped up, but now the spiders are doing so much damage.
Joker should leave and get his third win procced, I feel. Hooligan's going to die to the spiders, though. Oh, barely survives. Does not get into the sanctification. Dashes in, dies anyways. The Void gonna help Mighty win this team fight. Joker up at the front. Sands goes in. Good goes down.
Oh my.
And this is a disaster.
From GG. That's exactly what I talked about. Gust and APOC at the same time. It happened.
It happened, man. It happens. It's tough. But now, Mighty, with a double kill, could look to boss. If they boss here, all they need is half of the double altar phase that comes up next, and they win the game. And they're going to have 20. They recharge and go for the boss. GG knows this is a really tough situation. They're going to come over here to contest. Gust is up in 12, so they could go for flight here, but it's going to be basically impossible. They don't even try to. They let it go.
Looks like Sands does some harass onto Tychus. He was staying in the middle lane, looking for the rotation up. Mighty hit 20. And GG is still a full level away from 20.
GG needs a miracle now. They have to win both altars without Storm talents. That in itself that sense is painful to hear for any GG fan, because this is an almost unrealistic expectation.
This is what they have to go for. They have to catch on Joker. Perfectly done with those CCs. Joker should not have gone all the way into that push. That was very far away, and Sands making some flashy plays to take out Uj.
This is great for GG. This is the miracle they needed. This is just a start, but it's a strong start nonetheless. Hooligan takes a lot of damage. They're pushed away from this bell tower. But still 45 seconds until Joker comes back. Sands wants to come in to get the kill on the Hooligan. Look at that spider damage! I mean, Zebo is strong. Folks, if you were wondering, you probably weren't because you've been watching today. He wanted the Void Spike there onto Hooligan. He doesn't get it. Even Storm Shield actually has to be popped here for Mighty.
Even Ice Block used for Furion from all that harass from Sands.
It's a solo altar.
Luckily for GG.
Yes. Solo altar here for their only fight. They'll have to take sub 20. And remember, Joker isn't back yet. Huge Twilight Dream attempt. Totally whiffs here.
Even APOC was used, but they did up ending getting the altar there.
Okay, they get it. Guardian Angel comes up. Hooligan is super low. Oh, the Void. They're going to look for some big spider damage. Wait for this damage. Here he goes. SD knocks Hooligan out of this game. 60 seconds for the death timer. As now it's a 5v4. They want bell towers here. Storm Shield pop. They're going to dive for the wipe. It's going to be Good who goes down next. Uj does have a nice disengaging Gust, but can he get out? It's a nice route. Actually, he's going to connect here with Sands. The bell tower nearly takes him out, but Jaehyun will not be so lucky to escape. He goes down. 4 men down for GG. This is going to be at least 1 bell tower. Boss is up in 245, so they can't use that to end the game. But they can do everything else. If they get 4 of these into the core, that wins the game for them. They're not going to commit to the second bell tower. They just want this.
Just want this, and maybe they want to go rotate into the camp.
It's going to be...
not. They want all the sappers in. They want that 4 damage as boss is still on the cooldown.
Jaehyun is not up for 30 seconds. He's the best tool to deny this because his root will actually stop the sappers from advancing. This could be game over. They have to stop these sappers. Ujay's the only one. He's going to have Gust and 8. He cannot die here. They lose the game. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. The next cap is going to be a way away. Not even a single one can get in, or they lose the game and they lose this series.
By that time, I think they will have most of their heroics available, but Furion's not there for them to heal. This will be a close one. Mighty will do everything to put these in. The damage from Nazeebo will be real.
It's going to be real here. Here we go.
No follow-up
One's
CCs.
down. One's down. I think they're going to stop this. They saw it, but it's the double altar now, and they have to stop both. Not only that, the boss will be up afterwards. Even if they get both and they get wiped, they lose because of the boss. So they have to make sure that they cleanly take both of these. They're going to invade first. Hooligan with the grab here. There's the root. They're going to get the pick on the Joker. That's key. That's a good start. Moggy's with the channel.
Even APOC is used just to stall some time, and their Storm Talent's used. Even Gust just to cancel all the channeling there.
Okay, Moggy's still going to go for another channel here, though. They need to deny this. Good's going to eat a ton of spider damage to do so. They get the pick onto Karzim, and it looks like they will be able to take both altars now with 2 kills here. It feels pretty realistic for GG to just kind of casually channel. They just need to make sure no one comes in. Sands is looking for the back door here on Ujay, but Jaehyun is there for the protect. So here's the first, and here's the second. Unfortunately, with the lack of bell tower, they're only going to get 6 damage off this. There's a long, long road that GG is going to have to walk down in order to take this game. Boss is actually still not up yet. I suppose it's going to be up any second now.
It's going to be very close. It's probably less than 20 seconds left on the cooldown. Still anyone's game if GG is able to get those kills with that Murders, especially Joker has to be careful with the Root and Diablo combo coming in.
Yep. Actually, next is Frenzy for Tyrael at level 20 as well, so set some extra slows. So pretty.
That blade will slow down things a little bit.
Yeah, the Nexus blade. Sorry, I think I said Frenzy there.
It's okay. We're having a long day.
Yeah, but you guys know what I meant. The Storm auto attack for Assassins.
Let's do it. This is it. And Mighty, they want this push in. Oh, they are so far away at the moment.
They have to come down here. Ujay has Gust. He's probably going to have to use it. Hooligan comes down as well.
100%. They have to pop Gust and a pop.
I don't even know how the interaction works. If Hooligan can grab them into the kill zone, or if that actually sends them.
Oh
no!
Oh no! To
Oh
finish
no!
the game, is this gonna be enough?
Okay, Good drops the Sanctification down, but it gives the Gust at the same time here. They still have APOC. Here come those
1-2
sappers.
down, 2. Third one is gone, but the team fight is going towards GG at the moment. There's the Murder.
Okay, they're so low. They both go down. They're all dead. But the boss is up. The boss is up, so they cannot lose anybody else, or they will lose the game off the boss.
And
it's double altars and boss. So there's 3 different ways they can lose this game right now. 3 different ways. They have to stop all 3. It's unreasonable for Mighty to try to boss during the altar channel. So they're going to try to slowly get this. Hooligan again aggressively on Joker. There's the Stormbolt to follow up. Good taking a ton of that spider damage. As Voodoo Ritual is up and running at 20, the upgrade.
Ooh, Moggy wants to get a move, but Good gets taken out in the middle of the fight, and Moggy, this is going to be a 3v4.
Oh, Joker's so low though. BDG's burning him down. Storm Shield pop, that's so important. Jaehyun looks like he's going to go down. This may be the end. There's the double. BDG is the last one alive. The channel will happen, and Mighty will take this long, long, drawn-out series 3-2, just like the last time they met, and they will take top 4. The cutoff line was created today for these 2 teams. They were dead even in map score, and they were both 5-5. And as it stands, Mighty will walk away with the 6-5, and it will be their opponents with the 5 and 6.
Wow, what a game that we just saw between these 2 teams. That last Sappers, the way they try to stop it with Boy Prison and Gust, everything used in that one fight. You can see the desperation of both teams trying to win at the very end. And Mighty just at the end with the team fight. I think with Karazim just cleansed at the right moments. He had some clutch plays. It was a very intense moment at the very end, of course. But it's having that core health lead. Mighty took the series at the very end. Of course, Mighty was as expected, somewhat. They did have better draft into. I think their Cursed Hollow game was by far the weakest game of the series.
Yeah.
That one was a disaster.
That was a disaster draft. We called it the mistake in the recipe. Who would you, we always do this, but who would you give the MVP to? I look at the roster and I'm thinking to myself,
It was going to be Joker until the last game, but not anymore.
I think I would actually... I would say Sands had a really weak game on the Arthas, but we could see Sands or Moggy. SDE would played solid too. It's actually really tough. SDE's Nazebo specifically is, I think, kind of the carry of the series. But with how strong Nazebo is in basically how easy it is to play. It's not like super impressive, but you know he farmed really well. He got his Widowmakers up early and
That's right.
played a good gazebo. So
Except for the very first game, very beginning of the game, I think he ended up costing his life few times. But after a while, he has been positioning pretty perfectly.
I'll give credit to Hooligan before I say anything bad about SDA. Hooligan was super aggro. It was really fun to watch. The 7-sided did give him some trouble when he was being aggressive later on. But Nasung also played a good series. So, look, I'm going to have to give it to SDE. But we have an event in Korea. You can go on Facebook, use HGC and stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. If you speak Korean, you probably watch the Korean stream sometimes.
#HGC_KR.
Yep. And you
is
can
on Facebook and just Google translate something into Korean and pop it up. Maybe you'll be on to the event. It has to be. I think you have to be cheering for one team. I think that's the rule. Maybe.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but it's not localized for you guys on the English stream. But that's fine. That's why you hear that weird sound. We always explain it every time. People probably already know, and they're probably tired of me explaining it, but that's how it is, G-Clef.
It is. That's the rule.
Look, it's nearly midnight, which means that you guys only have a few hours left before we go into HGC EU as well. So
a little bit over an hour after an interview, maybe exactly an hour left before EU, and I'm pretty sure everyone is hyped for all the rest of the evening with EU and NA coming up very soon. But we just got a word that we will continue on with the interview. We do not know exactly who it's going to be yet. Do not check.
I guessed it right again, man.
You and your Apple Watch.
I always check, man.
자, 안녕하세요.
It's Sans.
All right, it's Sans. Let's hear it.
I haven't had an interview with this guy in a while.
궁금한 게 있는 게 표정 자체가 이렇게 약간 역시 나가 있는 듯한 모습이셨거든요. 어떠셨나요?
And from the looks of your face, you were almost out of it at the very end.
3주 정도 계속 지속되고 있는데 경기 때 제가 좀 열이 많이 나거든요.
네.
그래서
during the games
감기 몸살이 걸리는
I tend to really get
원래
hyped
감기 몸살일
and
때
actually
땀나면은
heat up.
보통 나요.
So after the
네,
matches,
근데
I tend to get
뭐라고
catch
해야지?
cold oftentimes.
요즘 게임할 때 제가 그 약간
네, 긴장 안 하셔도 돼요. 지금 사실
you see Sans super nervous in the interview zone. It's really common, of course, for all the gamers.
굉장히 몸이 아팠다라고 했는데 사실 그 마지막 세트에서 그 맨 처음에 제라툴이 보여준 모습이 사실 없었어가지고
before the Year Zero to play was not really highlighted before, but after as you progressed with Zeratul, especially the last game,
초기에
what
제가
made the biggest difference?
좀 집중이 안 되고 있었어요. 그 아서스 한 판에서 제가 그때
At the
갑자기
beginning,
몸이
I
떨리기
really lost,
시작하면서
basically
좀 열이
tilted
나기
with Arthas
시작하고
because I
계속
got
안 좋은
caught so
모습
many
보이다
times.
보니까 이거는 내가 좀 더 잘해야 된다 하고서
And I really thought that I really have to step up here.
특히 10렙 됐을 때 제가 한번 정신을 차려가지고
And after 10, I really
점점 게임을 만들어간 것 같아요.
and I just really hit myself in the head, and then I brought myself back together into the game.
GG 팀과
And then I just tried my best with
새로운
Zeratul.
라이벌의 구도다. MVP 블랙과 미라클의 느낌이다. 이런 식으로 좀 저희가 또 말씀을 드렸거든요. 오늘 GG 팀하고 좀 경기를 해봤을 때 역시 이 팀은 우리의 라이벌이다. 우리의 라이벌이라 부를 수 있다. 이런 느낌이
Do you think
드셨어요?
GG could be your rivals?
훌리건 선수가 정말 앞라인에서 무섭게 들어오거든요.
I think Hooligan on the
작년
front line of GG
그런
is
쪽에
super
저희가
scary.
많이 약한 모습을 보여가지고 훌리건 선수가
And against Hooligan, we have been
저희
showing
적이라고
pretty weak counters to him. So I think Hooligan is very strong, which makes GG
저주받은 골짜기에서
also very strong.
얘기를 안 할 수가 없는데 그
And we're on to Cursed Hollows. Oh no! Oh yes.
성체 밀려고 궁극까지 쓰면서 왔잖아요.
네.
네, 그리고 투석기에 핵이 터졌잖아요. 아 그때
And
멘탈이
even
괜찮았나요?
the catapults were on the core.
그때 좀 많이 안 좋긴
What were you guys
어,
feeling at the
그래도
time?
어떻게
It was
이제
terrible.
멘탈 회복하고 또 정신 차리고 이렇게 했는데
How were you able
어떻게
to get
가능했는지.
back up from that point on?
한 판에 미련을 안 가져서 가능한 것 같아요.
We don't really try to make
한번
regrets
졌으면은
for every
어차피 다음
single
경기
game.
있으니까 다음 경기로 빠르게 가서 다음 경기를
We have
이기면
next games
된다라는
to move on to, so we just think about the
사실
next step.
마이티가 3대 2만 가면은 다 이겨요. 네, 그거 아시죠?
And Mighty, every single time they go into full series,
지금까지 3대
they end up winning every single time they go full set.
오늘도 이겼고. 혹시 그 마지막 5번째 세트 가면은 이거 우리 무조건 이긴다 이런
Is there a
생각하나요?
thing for you guys when you
팀이
go into the fifth set?
집중력이라고 해야 되나? 집중력이 다른 팀들보다 높은 것 같아요.
I think we have
그래서
a
보통
very
마지막
high
세트까지 가면은
level of
결국
focus into
집중력
the game,
싸움이라고
even
하잖아요.
though
네.
그
it's the
정도로
fifth
마지막
game
세트만
compared to all
가면은 저희
other
팀이
teams.
대부분 게임을 오래 하던 선수들이 많기 때문에
Because our team is made up of a lot of players who has been enjoying and playing the game
오히려
for such a
마지막에서
long
더 좋은
time,
그림을 많이 만들어내는 것 같아요.
which
지금
helps us
아쉽게
to
이제
actually build
사이시긴
into
한데
a
그 위에 있는
picture
좀
of this
템페스트를
long-term
좀
series.
어떻게 좀 꺾어 보실 좀 자신이 있으신가요?
Are you
템페스트도
confident in beating the top 3 teams?
제 기억으로 유일하게 3대 1을 졌었던 곳이 템페스트였었거든요.
네.
I think the
이번에는
Tempest was the only team that we
마지막에
lost.
한번
3-1?
3대 2 다시 만들어 보겠습니다.
Maybe
알겠습니다.
we can
자
have a
그리고
chance to
이제
make it
보시면은 이제
3-2.
앞으로 후반기 이제
against
3번밖에
Tempest.
남지가
He
않았는데
didn't mention win or
앞으로 이제
loss,
좀 각오가
but of course
어떠실까요?
going into 3-2.
이제
음.
바로 앞에 미드나이트가 다가오고 있으니까
네.
And mid-season brawl is coming up
미드나이트를
very soon.
준비해서
음.
선수들 간에 더
For the next
연습을
few
많이
weeks,
하면서
I think we want to
노력하고
be try our best, give our best
미드나이트
shots,
가는 거를 저희가 많이 노리고 있어요.
and
그래서
our goal is
그쪽까지
definitely to go into the
좋은
mid-season
모습을
brawl,
보여드리기 위해서 노력 많이 하겠습니다.
알겠습니다.
and we will
자, 그
definitely
마지막으로
try our
이제
best to go into
우리
mid-season
마이티
brawl, as that is our goal, that is the
팬분들이시잖아요.
goal for
팬분들에게
ourselves.
마지막으로 하고 싶은 말씀이
And
있으시나요?
let's see.
팬
And your
여러분
last shout-outs
저희
to fans.
믿고 계속 응원해 주셔서 정말 감사하고요.
Thank you to all the fans for
감사한 게
supporting us
최고죠.
and rooting us
많이
so
많이
much.
많이 많이
I'm
감사합니다.
so thankful
네,
for all of
응원해
you.
주시는 것만으로도 정말
rooting for us.
감사하죠.
Thank
저도 마이티의 팬 여러분들 제가 감사드리겠습니다. 자 오늘 말씀 진심으로 감사드리고요. 오늘 MVP
And that sands The super play with Zerto at the very end, even
네,
Void
감사합니다.
Prisons was
자,
quite
저희는 오늘
awesome.
두 번째 경기
We saw
결과
some super
한번
clutch
살펴보도록
plays.
하겠습니다.
We will see the result of today.
Here we are. Once again, Mighty wins the last game of the series, as they've done in every series that's gone to Game 5, as was mentioned. I like what they were talking about, the Korean commentators, about the potential rivalry between Mighty and GG, because both of them have been so tight in the middle at 4 and 5.
That's right.
And they were tied for 4th place. Now Mighty takes the 4th place spot. GG will be knocked down to 5th at the 6 and 5 and 5 and 6. And the differential here in map scores, just the one map difference between the two. But I said before this evening started that the line would be drawn, and now it is. Mighty is now a top 4 team, and it's very likely it will stay that way for the rest of the season.
That's right. And Tempest Mighty a little bit below L5 and MVP Black, but the mid-season brawl playoff is from 2nd to 6th. So even Miracle still has a very good chance, and compared to how they've been stepping up, they're still in 6th place, unluckily.
Tomorrow's matches, by the way, will be Raven versus Blossom, so 7th and 8th. They battle down at the bottom end of the bracket. But GG versus Miracle, I think this is a chance for Miracle to redeem themselves here.
That's right.
Against the 5th place team, as they're currently in 6th. Maybe they could work their way up to 5th. A win here would be huge. That second match should be a really good one. And with the storyline built today, GG is coming off the loss tomorrow. But I do feel like with Miracle coming off of theirs as well, it's going to be a good series. It should be a really fun one.
Especially the second series. I'm very hyped for the second series. I think Miracle really went down with the draft. They've been making almost perfect decisions against Tempest tonight. So we'll see what kind of draft they bring out tomorrow against GG. And of course, match number 1, Raven versus Blossom. That's going to be something that you do not want to miss. That will be a fiery series for the ones that has the best chance of going down to Crucibles, but of course they want to win and possibly go for that 6th place spot later on. Not likely, but
it's possible for Blossom. Don't think it is for Raven, but they can try. They could try to win their first series. If they can't beat any of the other teams, the best chance they have is a team that's closest to them in skill, you would have to argue. So that is going to do it for us for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. As we mentioned before, EU is going to be coming up very shortly, so if you want to watch that, stick around on this channel. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. See you then.